What's up, everybody? I'm IGP, and welcome back to Subnautica. Now, before we get started, I do want to say this video is going to contain a lot of spoilers, if you haven't already figured that out. As we all know, the game has been in full force development for quite some time now, and we're actually approaching the end. Not necessarily completely for the devs, but at least for us, in terms of content. The game's story is coming to a close, and with that, we're going to be talking about how the game is supposed to end, and how we're supposed to get there. So if you guys don't want to be spoiled and you want to save it until the game is done, go ahead and click away. In fact, I'll put a link in the description below for you guys to check out to get your Subnautica fix. But if you are interested in finding out how the game's going to end, the current stage of it, and all the fine little details, then stick around. We're going to talk about that today. Again, you've been warned. If you haven't already clicked away, my assumption is you want to be spoiled. So, welcome everybody back to Subnautica. Today, we're going to be talking about the endgame, which we all know is going to be via rocket. Eventually, we're going to have to find a way to build a rocket eventually and get out into space. In fact, most of the story so far and how it develops kind of points to that. It's not really a secret. I mean, you have two giant ships that got shot down by the precursor array, the giant gun, to prevent anything from coming into the atmosphere or leaving it. We all know our goal is to cure ourselves of the Karar and then disable the array. We already know the sunbeam is destroyed when it tries to rescue us, so it's not like we're waiting for another rescue ship. I don't think anyone else is going to risk that happening. We have to build a rocket, get up into space. So I'm going to try to go through the information in chronological order, and a lot of this information, again, you can get from the Trello page. Link is in the description below as well. So the first thing that came up is this. It was an in-development communication relay that is supposed to happen eventually. I'm assuming after the sunbeam and as you advance throughout the game's story. It says Alterra HQ. This is Alterra HQ. This may be our only communication window. We can't send a rescue ship all the way out there. So Aurora, you're just gonna have to meet us halfway. Hint, hint. We've uploaded blueprints to the ship's computer. Black box data shows the high security terminal in the captain's quarters is still functional. The code should be something that's in development. When you transmission cuts out. I don't know if the audio is actually in here. I've waited quite some time. I've been around and I've tried to get it to play, but I guess I'm doing something wrong. Nonetheless, this is on the wiki as well. So that means we have to get into the exploded Aurora, get into the living quarters, and find the captain's quarters, which will have a code, which I guess will eventually be told to us once we get this fully developed communication relay. And then we'll find a terminal that will have the blueprints for the rocket. If you don't already know, the rocket launch platform blueprint is already in your blueprints when you start in creative, which is kind of what I did. I switched over to survival after that, so I don't know if I'm pretty sure it's not going to show up just yet. It might be there temporarily, but if you've seen that, then obviously you also know what's going to be happening. This provides a stable surface against which the escape rocket can fire its thrusters. So this is going to provide resistance against the thrusters to propel it upwards. We all know how rockets work, right? So we just got to explode the ship. And I'm not waiting for it, so that's always beautiful. So as you know, we don't have the code for the captain's quarters. It's not in the game just yet. The other codes don't work for the door, so we're just going to use unlock doors cheat inside the game, which you can do as well. All doors are now unlocked. I believe these don't do anything, right? These have, yeah, okay. So the captain's quarters is past all this stuff, which I'm probably going to get hurt by. Nope, we're good. Now, I believe we got in here before. I don't remember the code. No, we didn't. This is the one we did not get in because it has the Aurora miniature on it as well. All right, so this is the data terminal, which is the Alterra HQ last recorded transmissions. So this is going to be the same transmission that we just read off of the wiki. It says, Aurora long-range communications relay offline. Average long-range transmission delay 8 hours, displaying last recorded transmissions. Aurora, T-minus 6 minutes. This is an emergency distress call. Aurora is on collision course with planet 4546b, sending all available environmental data. Please respond with rescue solution. Alterra HQ, T+8 hours. So you have to wait 8 hours, I'm assuming, to get this. I still didn't get anything. I don't think it's in-game just yet. This is Alterra HQ. This may be our only communications window. We can't send a rescue ship all the way out there, so Aurora, you're just gonna have to meet us halfway. We've uploaded blueprints to the ship's computer. Black box data shows the high security terminal in the captain's quarters, which is where we're at, is still functional. The code should be blank. We already got in. When you download the blueprints, you should find plans for an escape ship we calculate will be capable of breaking orbit and getting you back to the nearest phase gate. It's designed to use materials you can find in sight, or situ, I don't know what that word is, but it's going to need a hell of a power source. You may need to salvage parts from the Aurora's reactor or come up with something more creative. We'll be sure to static. So now it gave us details about building the rocket, and in addition, it kind of hinted that we have to use some form of power, which is going to be the precursor ion crystals, which we can then form, I believe, 10 of them, 5 of them or 10 of them, I can't remember. I think 5, into a matrix which you can use to build stuff. So if we go up here to our blueprints, now we have 4 new ones in addition to the rocket launch platform, which is already in our blueprints. So again, provides a stable surface against which the escape rocket can fire its thrusters. Now, this recipe I don't think is accurate. This is the recipe, I believe, for the exosuit. And it's just temporary. You actually have the option to build this in the constructor. And we'll show that in a second. But here we go. So we have the rocket gantry, provides access to the escape rocket cockpit. So this is going to be the tall column leading up to it. If you can't see it right there, that tall column is going to lead into the entryway of the rocket itself. And then you have the 3 different stages of rockets, which actually do have a bit of different recipes here with the kyanite. So rocket stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. They don't have descriptions either, but we do have some information on the Trello page. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up. But first, here is the wiki entry for the rocket launch platform, which is the only entry, I think, for the rocket at all, or the end game. It will be crafted using an ion crystal matrix. So yes, the ion crystal matrix is 5 of the ion crystals put into 1. I don't know how many of these you're going to need, but it's an in-development piece of technology that will be used in the crafting recipe for the rocket. So actually, I don't know if you have to use this as a fuel source after it's crafted, or if it's going to be part of the crafting recipe. So here is the rocket overview. We're looking at a picture as well, which is fantastically drawn. So the idea is stage 1 is the boosters, which is going to be the bottom part, I believe, or the thrusters rather. Stage 2 is going to be the engine, which is the middle part right here. And then stage 3 is going to be the cockpit, where we finally get into activate a whole bunch of different terminals and such, and then launch ourselves out into space. And this kind of shows how large the rocket is going to be. The platform itself is huge. You're going to be able to craft multiples of these as well, and have different states of rockets if you wish. But it will just float there with the same mechanics as the life pod, and then you can craft continuously. So you can do it one at a time, go find the materials you need, come back, and continue building. Now, obviously, that's a huge height for the rocket. It's going to be massive. I don't really think this does it justice. It's not going to be that small. It's going to be huge, trust me. Don't tell anyone, but I've actually seen a preview of it that I can't show you, unfortunately. I do very much like to tease you guys though, so it's awesome. You just can't see it yet. And here are the tasks. In fact, a lot of it's already done. So some of the stages that are done, the platform is buildable using standard constructor. Platform falls down, then floats. Use same logic the escape pod uses to make it float and stay upright. So the constructor menu is going to show 4 items. The ladder, stage 1, which is the booster, stage 2, the engine, stage 3, the cockpit. This is going to be the constructor inside of the rocket base itself. So once you build it from the vehicle bay, the platform, then you can start building the other stuff from the, it's like the Seamoth upgrade terminal inside the moon pool. So the ladder is buildable attached to platform. It is also climbable. The boosters are buildable, but no functionality until you launch. Same thing with the engine. So it does say it does require an energy core to build the engine, so the ion matrix is going to be used for that. It's only 5 though. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could pick up 5 just from the prison alone. If you take the exo, which you probably will have the exosuit by the time you get to the prison. So those are all done currently, and a lot of the animations in the Trello page are said to be done as well. Now, stage 3 is the cockpit. Again, buildable. It has an interior. You can enter, exit the rocket by using the ladder, and you can also bring up a menu to launch the rocket. Probably needs confirmation dialogue, because you don't want to accidentally do it and then not be able to play your save anymore. I don't know how that's going to work. So what's going to happen is you're going to blast off, and then from the, I'm assuming there's going to be a view at the very top. The skybox is going to fade from the regular sky to the space sky. You're going to meet Alterra HQ halfway somewhere out in space, and you win. Now, this is really interesting. An alternative ending. They want to implement something else that happens, like, because you cure yourself of the Karar, maybe there will be an alternate way in disabling the array, and then you actually carry the Karar out to the Federation space, and then everyone is dead. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to be doing for an alternative ending or how it could work. Maybe you decide to stay, or maybe you die, and maybe that's the thing. Or maybe you think you disabled the array and there's another step to it that they don't tell you about, and then when you're launching, you get to see like from your view, you know, the green phase energy pulse just blowing you up. And then you die a very horrible death. I mean, that's probably better than dying from the Karar, but still would be a bad way to go all the way up here for nothing. See, and if you browse the Trello even just a little bit, you're gonna see a lot of talk about animations and rigs and stuff in the in development rocket, like swap rocket ship monitor geo when ready, rocket ship keyboard rig animation. They have the terminal cinematic, which I'm assuming is for that. Basically, they're gonna open a hatch and flip some switches, and it's gonna look super fancy. All right, so I'm going to attach my mobile vehicle bay, release that bad boy into the water, and check out the console up here. So as you can see here, we have vehicles, which is our normal set of vehicles, and then the rocket, which right now we can only do the rocket launch platform, as I mentioned. If we click it, we can't do anything. Even if I do no cost, we aren't going to be able to actually build the rocket platform. This is what happens. It just kind of stays here. Besides that, you can also try and spawn rocket base, and it will try to, but the devs have implemented a script that is going to negate it, so you can't actually spawn it just yet, at least until some things are done. Once that time comes, trust me, I will be showing you guys. And here's the matrix, the precursor ion crystal matrix. Looks pretty badass. And then, of course, the kyanite, which is something you can find in the lava zones as a large exosuit drillable resource. You can use that to build things like the jet upgrade and eventually, I'm assuming, the rocket platforms and such. So those are the details that we have currently on the rocket. Again, more precise and specific information can be found on the Trello or even the Discord if you guys haven't joined it yet. Everybody on there pretty much knows all of their shit. If I missed anything, be sure to post it in the comment section below. Let's talk it up. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Like, share, favorite, and subscribe if you haven't already to keep up to date with all my latest videos. I love you all, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!